Hey, folks, it's your boy King, along with your good friend Jimbo right over there. And here we are. It's another week 3 of our top 12 NFL power rankings countdown for the preseason. Pew, pew. We don't have the money for the effects. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we've been now doing this for 3 weeks. We did 2 in our first week, kind of do a little catch up, make the timing fit out. And so we should be done right before the start of the season. But for now, just to recap a little bit, Jimbo, in his first 3 picks for the top 12, he has at number 12 the New York Jetropolitans. He explained that. Well, you can explain. You felt that you're not sold yet on the Jets on the health of Aaron Rodgers, which
Yeah, it basically boils down to that. They're going to have a really good defense, but can Aaron Rodgers stay healthy? Because if he gets hurt, who's going to step in?
Tyrod, and it's a lot better than Zach Wilson. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
at least Tyrod
yeah.
is an NFL caliber quarterback. Then you had the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love coming in there, and not a bad pick, not a bad place. I think a lot of people have them. Some have them higher, some have them lower. You kind of have them right there, kind of in a median spot where I think people have them. A lot of upside. If Jordan Love continues the way he's going, I think the Packers are clearly good. I think there's still questions on defense, which I think was a big part for you. And some, they got Josh Jacobs now as running back. So that's, I don't think there's any drop off when, with Aaron gone. But interesting. I don't know if I would have put them that low personally, but I don't think I'd put the Jets that low either. But at least you didn't put them as low as Mike Florio, who had the Jets at 25. I don't know. And then last week you picked, as did I, actually, the Miami Dolphins at number 10. And that was, I think we both were thinking pretty much the same thing. Dolphins, they have all the tools. Can they put it together? Tyreek seems to be almost being a good teammate and being team-oriented, which is kind of strange. Tua's jacked. I think the Dolphins have a good enough defense, and they have the explosive offense. It's just, can they stay out of cold weather? That's the end of the day. Is can they stay out of cold weather? Again, they lost that game late in the season last year to the Bills. That made them go to Kansas City in -9 degrees or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
So, like, if they beat the Bills in that game at home, which they have a home playoff game, much like the Bills did. So, they need to be a little bit more consistent. But I think they're there. I think they're a very good team. So that's why we both had them there at number 10. So this week clearly is the number 9 pick in our countdown, as it were, our power rankings from 1 to 12. Jimbo, floor is yours. Who's your number 9?
Well, before I give that, what was your 12, 11, and 10 picks? 'Cause I don't think you gave yours.
My 12, 11, and 10 were... I had at 12, I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was a tight race between them and the Cowboys. I wasn't sure who I was going to put in there. Cowboys have a lot of questions. They have a lot of all that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, Tampa, but I like Baker. The defense is good. Mike Evans, he's like a lifetime Buck now. He's there for the rest of his career. I think that's pretty good. So I was like, all right, I think that's that, I felt good with that. My 11 was the Cleveland Browns. I think if Deshaun Watson could stay healthy, and if he can try to channel a bit of that Houston Texan Deshaun Watson, minus the massages, that the Browns defense is set up and ready to make a massive amount of waves. I mean, that's a great defense setup. They have great offensive weapons there. They have a good offensive line. I know Watson's been hurt, and so it's going to be like, oh, what is it? How does he, react? Can he gain some of that old Houston Texans Deshaun? I don't know, but I like the Browns, and I think they have a chance to make some real noise this year. And as we mentioned, number 10 was the Dolphins.
Yeah,
we kind of were simpatico on that one. So then, so yeah, that was that. So now, rewind that. Jimbo, who's your number 9?
well, the reason why I wanted you to go over yours is because you left. Sounds like the Cowboys are not in your top 12.
No, they're number 13, if anything.
Okay, I have them as number 9. The thinking is, yes, they didn't do pretty much any moves other than Zeke Elliott, but
is that a move? I mean, if it's a move, it's going backwards.
Yeah, but if the tail end of the Patriots run that he had shows up, then it'll be a good move for them. Dak is playing in a contract year, and we've seen he played one other time in a contract year and put up big numbers. CeeDee Lamb wants a contract. Now that's where the question mark. I think the biggest question mark of this team is CeeDee Lamb. Is he going to show up eventually, and training camp and play? Basically, it boils down to, for me, that they still have a lot of weapons on that team. Micah Parsons on the defense. I mean, he could just take a game over by himself. Their corners are still good. Now, how much of Dan Quinn leaving to go to Washington is going to affect them, we'll see. But they still have a lot of weapons on this team that I just don't think you could discount them from, the top half of the league.
This is why, and 13 is still top half of the league. It's 32 team league, so they're above. As long as you're above 16, you're in the top half. 16 and above, you're in the top half. Yeah. I understand what you're trying to say. And again, it's the same thing that's every year when it comes to the Cowboys. Is on paper the Cowboys should be great. On paper, the Cowboys should be in contention for the conference championship or the Super Bowl every year. It's whether or not they can actually put that together. And this year, above any other year in the last 5, I want to say, it feels like more chaos and more surrounding noise than actual football there in Dallas. And that's a problem. You have so many contracts that are up. I know they lost their one massive offensive lineman to the Jets in free agency. I don't know why the name has escaped me now. I smoked too much weed, I think. I got Alzheimer's all of a sudden. But they also have, like, Mike is going to be up for a contract. We know Dak's going to be up for a contract. We know CD's holding out because he wants another contract. There's the whole all in. Oh, we're going to go all in which they did not do that. There's Jerry's got a lawsuit going on. There's so much other shit, for lack of a better term, around the Cowboys this year, more so than usual. I mean, when you're the Cowboys, you're always going to have the extracurricular stuff around. It's just that comes with being the Cowboys. I get that. You get that. If you're an NFL fan of anybody, you get that. But this year seems worse than usual. Now, that's not to say that they won't be able to, rise above it and become a better team because of it, or whatever the case is. But when you've had all these other years with a lot of the same pieces and you weren't able to get over that hump, and you didn't have a ton of this other shit going on like it's going on now, I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I can't see. Like right now, I can't put them in the top 12. I can't, And now again, as the season goes on, will they get into the top 12? Will I be proven wrong? Possibly, absolutely. I mean, who knows what's going on? They could win the Super Bowl. The Cowboys could win the Super Bowl this year. Will they? I don't think so. But that's, we've all been proven wrong before. That's the thing here. Let's bring it down a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Me and you, let's have a little conversation here. This is what I try to avoid in doing this stuff, where I think you see a lot of people, whether they're in broadcasting on the big networks, whether there's just somebody on Twitter. You see them all the time on the Freezing Cold Takes account, Old Takes Exposed. Love those guys. It's when you make the declarative statement above everything else. It's like, the Cowboys are not going to do this. The Cowboys are awful. They are never going to make the playoffs, or they're never going to win a Super Bowl. They're not making it past the first, whatever the case is. I'm always going to do my best not to be that guy. I don't want to be Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
Right. I don't want to be what Stephen A. Smith is kind of now. Like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a caricature. I don't want to be like, this is what I say, and if you don't think it, you're fucking stupid. Like, that's never what I'm going to go for. All I'm saying is, looking at everything that we have available for us to look at, I can't see putting the Cowboys in that spot. Can I be wrong, and can they prove me wrong, and can they go ahead and go on a run and be one of the better teams this year? Absolutely. I won't argue that, and I won't say it can't happen. I just, with everything that's presented to me, I don't think it will. So I just wanted to point that out there, because I saw something the other day where somebody was bringing up either Skip or they were talking about it themselves, and they were being very demonstrative and being like, no, this is never going to happen. This can't happen. They're never going to. It's like, and then you see, literally 3 days later, they're on Old Takes Exposed because they can't keep their mouth shut. And
yeah,
it's like, then it goes back, oh, you suck. Oh, you're terrible. It's like, I don't know if they would be or not, if they just would have stated their opinion and have it be an opinion, but not be put out there as if that's the fact.
Yeah,
and I think that's the issue, and that's the problem a lot of people have with the Skip Baylesses and stuff like that, and those kind of debate shows, is you have people on there saying like, "Oh, this can never happen. No, they're terrible. This person is terrible. This person is never going to be that. This person is never going to be this." I remember seeing that with Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. I know I'm going off on track with basketball here, but when the Knicks got him, they're like, "Oh, Jalen Brunson, this is terrible. What? He's not going to change a franchise. He's not going to do anything like that." I've never seen New York basketball be as invigorated as it was on this playoff run they had. It was something else to see. I haven't seen that since the late '90s when it came to the Knicks, to the point where even I was like, go Knicks, I don't even watch basketball. But it was something like that. So I just wanted to point that out. That's not you. That's not me. That's never how we're going to be. We're never going to be that, unless it's the Rangers. The Rangers suck all the time. Fuck them. Fuck that team. Fuck Jacob Trouba. Fuck Matt Rempe. They're giant pieces of shit, and so are the entire Rangers organization and their fan base. Suck it. Okay. That being said, we have your number 9 team. That is the Dallas Cowboys. My number 9 team, which is kind of funny because we just had their statement in this countdown not too long ago. We're going back to the state of Ohio, and that's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. They are my number 9 team. The reason I'm picking them, what's that?
No, I said okay.
Oh, okay.
I had to contemplate if I agreed with it or not.
Well, they're my number 9 here. And again, I know they have a lot of, they've got their contracts, and people are saying like they want to be traded, and then they're still showing up to camp, and then they're, I'm going to play, and all right, I'll sign the franchise tag, and then, so they still have Jamar Chase, they still have T. Higgins there for how long? If they do end up trading them, who knows what happens. But for now, they have them. And you know what? Who else is coming back? And really is the reason why they're number 9 on this list? It's Joey Burrow, baby. Joe Burr is back. If he can stay healthy, again, that's the biggest thing. Joe Burrow has. I mean, the offensive line hasn't been quite as bad as the New York Giants offensive line, but it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. And his first 4 seasons, and he got injured in his rookie year, and then last season, knocked out of a significant portion of the season, unfortunately. But when he's in there, he's a difference maker. He is that good. He is that level of quarterback to where just him being on the field is enough to win games. Even if everything's going wrong, even if your defense isn't playing that well that day, even if the offensive line isn't great, which he's had to deal with most of his career there in Cincinnati. All of those things, he's able to go ahead and rise above it and make that team better just by sheer will alone. So I know there's other factors to look at. Like I said, they have their receivers there, at least for this year. Who knows what happens in the offseason? Who's getting traded? Who's not? Does somebody want to stay? Do they feel disrespected? All this other stuff that's going on. But for now, unlike the Cowboys, it seems to be settled for now.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I think their defense is good. Again, everybody's defense in that AFC North is so good. Everybody's defense in that division is very good. And I think Joe Burrow is a difference maker. I do. And probably the biggest one. So that's why I personally have the Cincinnati Bengals as my number 9. So in my first 4 picks here, I have the 2 Ohio teams are there. Cleveland at 11 and Cincinnati at 9. Jimbo, what are your thoughts about old King's number 9?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that basically this team runs with Burrow. If he's out, it's a huge drop off. I know they re-signed the backup they had from last year. And yeah, he did play well, but he's no Joe Burrow.
Listen. None of us remember his name. All we remember his girlfriend wearing a white bodysuit. That's all we remember. I'm sorry. I know we're misogynist. We're part of the patriarchy. We're terrible people. But let's be honest. If you saw that bodysuit, you would forget his name too. I'm
going to take a dart and throw it at the dartboard here. I think it's Jake Browning was his name.
Browning. That was it. Jake Browning.
See?
Yep. See? Now it is. Now I remember.
Don't underestimate me. But yeah, no, that defense is good. But as you were talking about the receivers and everything like that, I already think, well, depending on how this season plays out with them, the overall team, they should be the first ones up for Hard Knocks offseason because that should be interesting offseason with T. Higgins.
That'll be
Jamar Chase.
So interesting. And I want to get the peek inside of how Paul Brown does shit because, or no, it's is it Paul Brown? I know Paul Brown. No, I know the old man was Paul Brown.
Yeah.
Is he Paul Brown III, Paul Brown Jr., or Mike Brown? That's who it is.
Mike Brown. There you go. Yeah.
It's Mike Brown. He's a known miser, like the most miserly of misers in the NFL. Like you're talking about, like the Bengals. You know, Pat McAfee always made the biggest joke because they didn't have an indoor practice facility. You know, and when they went to the Super Bowl, they had to go and cross the highway to go use the University of Cincinnati's indoor facility, in which they then had to wait because the lacrosse team was using it. And so they finally did get that. They finally got naming rights on their stadium to help do that. They paid Joe Burrow a lot. He was the highest paid quarterback for a couple weeks until I believe the annual average value went to Trevor Lawrence, of all people. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep both of their receivers. I think either T or Chase are gone after the year. But if that's the case, get him now. And listen, if you win a Super Bowl, maybe you get him to take a little bit of a home team discount, maybe do something like that. But like you said, I would love to see that, just to see how miserly he is and how that works behind the scene there in Cincinnati, because that's kind of been well documented about Mike Brown and the organization as a whole. They're very penny pinching, as it were. So I'm interested to see how that would actually work out. That's a good call, though. We should start lobbying already.
Get the hashtag trending.
My sister-in-law, her husband has a friend who works a camera for Hard Knocks. He does all the stuff. So hey, talk to him. Be like, hey, listen, I don't know if you know anybody on the higher ups there in HBO or something, but kind of like tell the NFL, because the NFL can force a team to do this. Like I think they did that last year with the Jets. I think they might have done that this year with the Giants for the offseason, and just be like, get the Bengals on next year. That's going to be entertaining, because that would be very entertaining. All right, so there we are. There's Jimbo's list there. He's got the Jets at 12, Packers are at 11, Dolphins at 10, and now he's got the Cowboys ranked at number 9 in his NFL Top 12 preseason rankings. As for myself, I have the Buccaneers are at 12, the Browns are at 11, the Dolphins at 10. Me and Jimbo same on that one. And at number 9, I have your Cincinnati Bengals and Joey Cool, Joe Burrow. Jimbo, anything else before we get the hell out of here?
Just a quick old reference to an old friend of ours about the Dallas Cowboys. You don't know what you're talking
about. That's true. I still gotta make that into a shirt. By the way, there is new merch. If you go ahead and click over on that QR code there, I think it might go to the right place. I don't know. I think some British people hijacked our shit. But we do have new merch in there. New digital football helmet, like old school 8-bit football helmets. I think are pretty cool. You can go check those out. Anything else you're doing for the rest of the day? What's on tap for the old Jimbo?
Gonna make some homemade meatballs, some spaghetti sausage for dinner, and then go watch House of Dragons, see what this hoopla is about the episode.
Oh my God! Well, listen.
And by the way, Aegon is Joffrey. I cannot stand Aegon.
No! Don't you dare!
He's a bitch like Joffrey.
No! Listen, is he king material? No, but is he? He's not cruel. He's not like psychotic. He's not that. He's just
he's a bitch.
He's a baby. I get it. Yeah. But that's not Joffrey. I don't hate him like I viscerally hated Joffrey. And I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I will just say this, but this is something that I think is in general throughout the show anyway. Vagar's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You're going to have to listen. At the end of the day, Vagar's a fucking problem. That's all that. That's the same for me. We're gonna do this, post this up, probably make a little vodka drink, and get ready to watch Hard Knocks tonight with the Giants, and see if Dable can run that 7.4 with a plate of chicken wings at the end there.
Dude, I saw that. I can't wait to see it.
I know you doubt it, and I can't run either. I got the diabetic legs, but if you put a plate of pretty decent chicken wings on the end of there, I can hobble my ass probably to an 8. I could probably do an 8.2, something like that. Back in the day when I was athletic, I could move pretty. I could probably do a 5.
Probably once I hit 35 yards, I would have to start doing a lean to get that extra and just fall on the plane just later and go.
When I was like 14, 15 years old and 295, 300, but still athletic. I was big but athletic. I could probably do a 5 on the 40-yard dash. I would have to spend the next 5 minutes sucking air, but I could do it. Nowadays, we're talking double fucking digits. Like, we're talking about Rich Eisen is beating my ass. Let's be honest. But anyway, that's going to do it for this kind of. We'll be back here next Tuesday for you to go ahead and see who our number 8 teams are going to be on our NFL Top 12 Power Rankings Preseason edition. For your good friend Jimbo, I'm your boy King. See ya!